With such a choice of cinemas available, what makes independent cinemas special? I've come to the Phoenix in Finchley and the Curzon Soho in London to find out. I asked Matthew Rose, the general manager, what the benefits were of visiting his independent cinema compared to a multiplex.
Well, I suppose this feels like a cultural hub. It feels quite like a, I'm not going to say a mecca for cinema, but I mean, I think you come here and you get a feeling that it's different. And I suppose it's nice being different because the big cinemas all seem the same. You just walk in and you know you're in a cinema. I think this feels a bit more collaborative maybe. And I don't know, I think you can get a bit more comfortable here. I think the bigger ones tend to feel a lot more like you could be anywhere.
Do you think part of what you're trying to do here, maybe like you're saying about individuality, is like if you have a staff member, they're allowed to dress how they like, have their hair how they like, that kind of thing. It gives out maybe more of a message of, I've got certain interests, and that's almost reflected, kind of, how you.
Yes,
I think just by
so.
seeing me, sort of thing.
Yes,
yeah.
we do obviously give them very loose guidelines because you want a certain look, because people can get, you can certainly take advantage of that. But I think you feel more comfortable when you're wearing your own things.
Okay. Do you think you offer a better experience than other cinemas?
I'd like to think so, but it is quite hard to differentiate cinemas because obviously when you're showing the same films, it's hard. I mean, there are times when we're showing the same films as as Odeon, Covent Garden down there, and the Cineworld up the top of the road. So within a 5-minute walk, there's 3 cinemas showing the same film. So I suppose if you add the value of having a coffee shop upstairs or, I don't know, a slightly different atmosphere, maybe that's appealing. I mean, at Odeon down the road, you can't. There's nowhere to sit. You literally buy a ticket and watch the film.
Next, I visited the Phoenix Cinema in Finchley, where I spoke to Jack Patterson, the duty manager. Do you think this cinema has a future, and is it feasible to keep going?
Absolutely. I think it's an important, it's an extremely important location in North London and East Finchley. It's continuously running art house cinema as well in a corner of London that doesn't have many things like that. I think times are changing, but it's still been the most stable and continuous place to come and watch film.
What are the cinema's best features?
I think the Art Deco auditorium and a sort of fantastic. Well, it's beautiful. You get to see films that won't be on at mainstream cinemas. You get to have a focus on the important screenings that, community and kind of rare films will be screened here. Yeah, the great programming, the fantastic kind of space that you're sitting in, the sort of special treatment you get from the staff, and the customer service.
On that point, do you think, when you think of your clientele, do you think you get a lot of real kind of film fanatics who, more so maybe than another venue?
Yeah, we have a sort of crowd that want to be sitting in a silent, dark space with full concentration on the film. There's no rare issues where people, complain about someone on their mobile or someone chatting or eating or any of that. That's completely, that rarely happens.
What do you think the advantages of coming in here compared to the multiplex?
First of all, a fantastic space. We have a very, for one screen we have quite an adventurous programme. We try to show 2 films as much as we can, and that's often films that have been chosen that that aren't available everywhere or on a very small release. So those are two things you wouldn't receive at a multiplex, and also the level of care, and it's part and package with the art house film cinema is that you get a different experience, and the Phoenix certainly falls into the art house cinema spectrum.
A very interesting range of ideas. There is clearly no one feature that makes an independent cinema special, but it is certainly a unique experience.